What's up, friends? You're listening to episode number 1 of the Just Breathing with Laud Lungs. Here today, we have Brittany Letterman, and she is my wife. And I'm happy to start the podcast off right.
That's right.
Right?
That's
Yeah,
right.
That's right. So we're going to get into a lot of different stuff today. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff that maybe doesn't matter, and we're going to talk about some stuff that does matter. We're going to talk about music. We're going to talk about culture. We're going to talk about all things that every single person listening to this cares about. Even if you don't hear anything you care about, you will love it. So thank you for being here.
Yeah, no problem.
And so bring that mic up a little closer to you. So one of the things I kind of want to start with this, because right now Laud Lungs is working on some new projects for a EP, and I'm not going to reveal the name or anything like that, because that'll come, and I want that to be a surprise. But I did want to talk about sort of the emphasis behind this album, kind of where the songs are coming from, where everything is sort of leading to, and what you want people to get out of it, all that type of stuff. So first off, tell me a little bit about the onus to I guess go after the focus for this EP.
I guess it all starts out from just my love of God and my love for music. And whenever I'm writing music, so I write music all the time, for those of you who don't know, and I'm always just kind of pouring out my heart to God about my own struggles and also for the struggles of other people. And I have a big heart for those who feel like they're less than, for those who feel like no one cares about them, or that they really don't have any purpose in this world. I know I have felt those things, so I really have a heart for those people. And so I write a lot of songs for those people. And so this is kind of like some of my best picks of my lowest points, and of points where I've seen other people at their lowest points, and I've written out of that place. And I just want to encourage these people that they are loved, they are cherished, they have a purpose, and it's a lie. It's a lie to think that your life is pointless. So that's really where it comes from, and I'm excited for people to hear it. I want it to bless people. I want people to feel like they're worth something after they listen to this album. So
Yeah, I agree. I think having there's a lot of songs out there about God's love. There's a lot of songs out there about loving yourself, about knowing how special you are, and all that kind of stuff. And I don't think that subject matter really gets old, because as we can see, even in our world today, there's a lot of hurting people. A lot of the stuff going on really stems, in my belief, stems from a longing for something. Probably not an understanding of how much that person is loved.
right.
And you could see that. You don't have to get too deep into that, but I mean, you can even see it just in the racial things that we're seeing in our world today. There's a group of people that, no matter your political bias or kind of where you're coming at, that whole thing, you can see that people feel unloved. And I could talk a lot about that, but I want to stick on this just for a little bit at least. So tell me a little bit more about kind of some of the songs. What is some of the subject matter that you tend to stay on, that you tend to really write about, and that really is on your heart during this whole process?
So the first song that comes to mind is, should I not say the title? Should I?
Yeah, let's keep that. Let's keep that a surprise.
So there's one song in this album that is really, well, they're all dear to my heart, but the one is dear because
They're all your babies.
yeah, they are. The one is dear because it kind of tells my story through a song of where I was at as a very young person for a long time believing a lot of lies about myself and really just living in a very depraved kind of mindset. And I was just not in a good place. And it was damaging to me in many ways. And so this song is kind of a story of how God kind of spoke to me in that place. And he was kind of like, why are you doing this to yourself? And I just say that because he has slowly taken me out of those mindsets, and he has slowly taught me who I really am. And I think I'm always going to be growing in that way, but I want other people to experience that, because I know I'm not the only person who's been in that place. There are a lot of people who are in that place now, or have been, or will be. And I want them to know that there's hope, So that one song is kind of the heart of where this all started. I wrote that song, like, I don't know, a few years after the fact, because at the time I was just trying to survive. But, yeah, so all the songs kind of stem from that mindset of coming out of a place of darkness, a place of depravity, a place of lies into truth, into love, into an understanding of who I am and who others are in the light of Jesus. So yeah, that's really the feel for all of these songs. Yeah.
Yeah. Does that song start with an N?
No, not that one.
Oh, okay. See, I get the pleasure of hearing Brittany writing these songs, and there are certain songs that she tends to love to really sing out and sing all the time. So yeah, okay, all right. See, now I don't even know that song, so it's going to be a surprise for me. So that's pretty cool. All right, if you saw a cut in the video, if you're watching on YouTube, we had some technical difficulties, but we're back. We're just going to continue on in the conversation that we've been having. If you're listening to this, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. So carry on. But yeah, all right. So we're talking about, really, it sounds like a lot of these songs are songs of hope. It sounds like a lot of these songs are songs of just a light at the end of the tunnel type thing. Is that kind of the vibe that you really see in a lot of these songs, giving people something to sort of aim towards?
Yeah, that's a really good visual for it. It is. It's like a light at the end of the tunnel, a joy at the end of the tunnel that I want people to look forward to. Yeah, I can't say it better than that.
Yeah. Well, I'm really excited about it. I think we have one single that hopefully will come out mid to the end of August is what we're aiming for. And man, I think that's a really good song. It's actually an older song that my man Pat Ian Kenna, he wrote that a long time ago. And we were just kind of digging through some of his old stuff, found that song. We're like, this song still resonates. This song is still good. The recording sounds like it's in the 90s, but the song itself is excellent. And that's the one we're going to be releasing first. And I think it really encapsulates a lot of what you're talking about. A lot of hope, a lot of what's cool about that song, without getting too much into it, is that it comes from the perspective of God. You know, really singing down to someone that has felt fear and has felt shame and has felt broken and feels unworthy. And that's another thing that, from just singing some of the songs that you've written, that's a place that I think a lot of people come to God from, that place of feeling unworthy. Yes. And you are. So, I mean, just from a Christian perspective, we are unworthy. But praise God, through Jesus, we can come into God's presence as heirs, as children of God. And that's the beautiful thing. That is the good news. That is the gospel of Jesus Christ. So, so that's cool. I'm really excited for that EP to come out. And like I said, we're going to be releasing some singles as this year progresses, and then probably the beginning of next year, maybe the full EP will come out. But yeah, what else did you want to kind of talk about? Just so you guys know, full disclosure, we have babysitters. We have 3 kids at home right now. So this is like the most freedom that we've experienced in a long time. So we are just, it's hard for us to even talk because we're just enjoying this moment so much.
The quiet,
the calm, the lack of fighting.
No one's crying right now.
I know. We just want to sit here in silence and just soak it in. But we want to talk to you guys. So, one of the things that I think we should talk about is let's get back into. It's hard to get off the topic of what's going on in our world right now.
That's for sure.
I mean, this is a weird time. Stuff's still happening. Movies are coming out, and we can watch them at home now. And music's still coming out, thankfully. But it's a weird time because you don't get to experience a lot of those things with other people because of the coronavirus, and with all the protesting and rioting and everything else going on, the violence that's happening right now. It's a crazy time. Everybody says that, but it is. It's a crazy time. What do you think these songs can really mean to people that are maybe in the midst of some of these things, that are maybe struggling with fear from the virus and are just kind of locked by that fear? Are any of the songs that you're writing right now, because you know them way better than I do, are these songs that can really speak to those people?
Definitely. I think specifically of one of them, it's kind of talking about lifting God high when everything else is crap.
Do you use the word crap?
I don't use the word crap. It's a little bit more well spoken in the song, but I think it's in these times that we realize how much we need the help of God. We need the help of each other. We need to extend grace. We need to speak truth. I think we're wrapped up in our own selves, and not everyone, but most of us are just thinking about ourselves, and it adds to the chaos. When we can't think clearly about a situation, or we're just concerned about me. We have to get our eyes focused right, and
and it's so helpful to sing those things. There's something about song that I've noticed that sort of transcends our emotions. It can kind of, even if you're feeling it, and everybody's probably experienced this when a certain song has come on the radio or on Spotify or wherever you listen to music. Check out Laud Lungs. But yeah, it's able to sort of cut through. Maybe if we have a lot of noise in our mind, if we have a lot of things that are going on in our life, it's able to cut right through. And those words that weren't directly written for you feels like that guy was sitting there listening to your story and writing about that. And
I love that when that happens.
Yeah. And what you're saying too with the We Lift You High, singing that out is, that declarative type song is able to also cut through a lot of the noise and really help us to have that vertical connection. Yes. Sometimes a song can help us sort of open up the horizontal and see kind of around us and see sort of our situation maybe for what it really is, or see people for who they really are, or things like that. But that declarative sort of praise songs, worship songs, allows us to really cut through the vertical and maybe see God in the perspective that we need to see him at that time.
And even declare truth to ourselves. Like, sometimes we need, or at least for me, sometimes I need to kind of say to myself and to God, like, I'm gonna praise you, even though I don't feel that right now. I don't feel super happy inside right now, but I still know that you're good, and I still know that you're there, and you see everything that's going on. You haven't left me. I'm gonna just lift you high still.
Yeah.
And almost declaring it for myself is helpful, and I think that is helpful for everyone.
Yeah. Fear is, I think, the biggest thing right now, and that's why I'm just kind of harping on it and just sort of staying on this topic, just because I see so many people. You have so many different sides of it. There's people that fear some of the rioting and they're scared of that and the tension of that. And then there are people that are just locked away in their homes because they're so scared. I mean, the people, hey, I love the mask thing. I think you should wear it. I think it's great for making everybody feel safe. I'm not going to get into all the science of whether it works or whether it doesn't work or all that fun stuff that Facebook likes to debate on. all those doctors, Dr. Facebook members. But yeah, there are people that are just so afraid right now, and they don't even seem to be able to get out of their own way with that fear. That fear just, it locks them, like I said, it locks them up. It paralyzes them.
Right.
And yeah, if these songs can just be something to sort of, to use a cliche, break those chains,
Right.
and to, just allow people to move.
Right.
If they're scared to go out of their house, they don't need to go out of their house, but at least be able to be confident that God is in control. And like you said at the beginning, that he loves them.
Right.
That's so necessary right now, especially.
I know one thing that God has taught me is when fear is dictating my actions, that's not a good place to be. You can be fearful, but then you have to kind of take a step back and say, okay, what is real? What is true?
Right.
Like, what are the reasonable precautions that I may need to take? But when is fear just dictating my actions? And I mean, that's a really good thing to kind of, I use that still. I'm like, right now, is fear dictating my actions?
Yeah.
And I kind of have to rethink how I'm
and you really don't get a clearer picture of that until you have kids, and or if you just are with kids, you really, and you're in a situation where they're trying something for the first time. All of our kids are under 5 right now, and so they're just experiencing life. They're just trying things for the first time, and everything is new to them. So it gives you just a beautiful picture of what we look like when we're faced with a new situation,
yes.
and how we must look to God.
So silly.
Yeah, we do. We probably are just super silly. Just especially when you look back on some of the stuff that you were scared of, talking to a person. It sounds so silly, but
Yeah.
and you never know. Sometimes talking to a person could be one of the most upsetting moments of your life. I mean, right. I've had those conversations with people, and they weren't fun. But yeah, you look back on some of them, you're like, oh man, oh man, yeah. But it is something that is so clear when you have kids, and you can see them in new situations, and you literally can see the cogs in their mind
So true.
working as they sort of process the whole thing and figure out, can I do this? Is this even like something I'm physically capable of doing?
You learn so much when you have kids.
Yeah.
You learn so much about yourself, and you're like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
It's humbling.
It is humbling. And we're always learning. Mm-hmm. We are always learning. Yeah. What book are you reading right now?
Oh, I'm kind of reading a few, but mostly I'm reading Shepherding a Child's Heart, or at least I'm trying to read that.
Who's that by?
That is by a man.
A man? Oh. That's sexist. Why does it have to be by a man?
I can't remember his name.
Shepherding a Child's Heart, though. We have Google. Who needs names?
Yeah.
Author recognition.
That book is popular. If you look that up, you'll find the author right away.
Yeah, yeah. But you're finding that helpful right now?
Oh, yeah. Whenever I can, I'm trying to read it.
Anybody that's listening to this right now can tell that I have not read that book yet. So my wife is a much better parent than I am.
I'm
she cares
reading
about
as much as I can.
shepherding our children's hearts. I'll get there, though. I'll get the audiobook.
Yes.
But yeah, what are the major things that it's really showing you about shepherding our child's hearts?
I mean, I guess just to throw out there the first few things that come to my mind, like one of the things that the guy said that was humbling for me was he's like, we've underrated quantity time. Like, and it's true. Like, you kind of are like, I'm going to like give my kid like some quality time and like that should be enough. But like, no, they're like your kids. They need you. Like, not that you do need to take care of yourself. Like, I need to take care of myself, and it's not. It is healthy to take time to myself, but like quantity time with them is good too.
Right.
Like just being with them knowing mom's here for us.
Yeah.
When we need it, and that was kind of humbling to me. I was like, oh, yeah, like I do underrate that. So that was humbling, but mostly just really getting down to the problem. Like the heart issue is really what the key is, and that's hard. So I need discernment for that because I'm actually not that good at that. So that's a little scary. But
What are you not good at?
discerning right away
Kind of where the kids are coming
what's,
from?
Right. What's the really deeper issue? So
Yeah.
I obviously see the behavior issue. It's very evident.
Yeah.
But it's like, why are they doing this?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, what is really going on that they decided to do this again
yeah.
and again and again?
Yeah.
So really trying to take the time to, talk to them and figure that out. And I don't know, I'm learning. It's in the process.
Well, it's kind of like, yeah, I think of two things. I think of that one book we read together, so I'm not terrible at being a parent. But the 5 love languages for children, those are sort of when those things are lacking, when a child's love language is lacking,
right.
They can act out in other ways in order to try and get your attention, desiring that love to be filled up, to be received. And I also, I heard, I think it was I forget his name now. But he's the lead singer of 10th Avenue North.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And he was talking about, I think he has all daughters, I think.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I knew he had daughters, but I didn't know.
Yeah. But he was talking about, because, man, if someone has a daughter out there, they know. Daughters are, woo! Daughters are something. They're
Just a little emotional.
Their emotions are 0 to 100 in about 5 seconds.
She is my daughter.
And but he was talking kind of along those same lines of what you're saying with getting to the heart. When they're doing something, usually with children, it's not really about that thing.
Right.
There's something going on inside of them. They feel angry, or they feel sad, or they feel, hurt, or they feel, kind of maybe, like you said, with the time thing, maybe they just feel neglected, even though you're there.
Right.
You're not leaving them on a curb somewhere.
Right.
but they can still feel that,
Right.
if that's really the way that they receive love, and that and that fills them up. And that's a hard thing to really navigate, and to really, man. Yeah, it takes a lot of discernment. It takes a lot of prayer.
Yeah.
A lot of prayer of
self-control.
God, help me understand my kids better. Yeah. But that's good though. I mean, I think, like, and this is not a diss on my parents at all, because they were great parents, but that was never something that they really focused on. They were really focusing on the surface actions.
Right.
And and some of that is their own upbringing. I mean, we're all products of our own parents' upbringings, and their parents barely hugged. Like, it's actually kind of cool now, because especially on my dad's side, we hug a lot now, but he said growing up, like, his parents, they didn't hug. Wow. They didn't hug, like, each other. Like, there was not really, like, that physical part.
That's so different
in
than
their
my
love.
family.
And from being with my family, the love language is crap on each other in the name of love. It is destroy the other person.
And once that person's gone, I'm going to say all the great things about them.
Yeah, that is a funny thing too. Yeah, if you were
Let me just lavish my congratulations on this person that isn't here right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that is a funny thing. Yeah, you'll never hear that when they're in person, but when they leave, they're like, that person, that family member is the best. I love them so deeply. And you're like, why didn't you say that to them? And you're just like, nah, I like crapping on them.
Oh, yeah.
This podcast is going to have a lot of crap in it. You're going to be okay with that.
They like that, remember? That's what they're looking for.
That's what they're looking for. You didn't know you were looking for crap, but you found it on Just Breathing with Laud Lungs.
Oh, my.
Yeah, but what were we even talking about? Family, right?
Yeah.
And just the differences in our upbringing. And, yeah, it plays such a role, like, because, like I said, my parents definitely loved me. They said they loved me, which is very different. Like, even... I think my mom's side was a little more. They would hug, and they're all Italian, so they would kiss like 1,000 times.
Oh, that's funny.
They got even more loving, once the drinks happened.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that was fun. I would have like people, like cousins I didn't even know, be like, I love you. Yeah, they were really loving, but they didn't say it a lot. Their words wasn't really a part of that. So I know my parents were definitely wanted to establish that when they had a kid, that they were going to say they loved me. They were going to hug me. They were going to make sure that affection was really shown. And it was great. And it was great. But like we're talking about right now, that deeper connection they didn't get to. And I think that's what's so cool about if you really focus on the next generations, if you're really focusing on your kids, if you're really, and you can still focus on yourself, you can still do the things that God created you to do, and live out your life in the way that you should, pursue your dreams, go after what you want to do. But if you have kids, a great portion of your life now is for them.
Right.
Is really bringing them up and making sure that you're assessing those areas. Right. Okay, what did I not have that I really needed that could really set my kid apart and really set them on a good path and really set them up for success. And yeah, that deeper connection is so key.
Right.
And just to kind of bring it back full circle, establishing now you are loved.
Right.
Establishing now, you were unworthy in your sin, but God called you worthy through what he did.
Yes.
On the cross and in the resurrection and all that. And that's such an important thing. And there's nothing better as a parent than when we hear our kids singing about Jesus loving them.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe if you're a non-Christian listening to this, you're like, okay, I guess that's cool. But I think once you understand how much God, Jesus, Holy Spirit, all of them love you, when you get to experience someone else understanding that love,
It's the best thing.
yeah, it just melts your heart.
Yeah.
It melts your heart. But all right. Well, what else do you want to talk about? Anything?
I don't know. I got to check the time here.
Yeah, I know. We are on a time slot.
We're on a time slot.
We're on a time slot. We got to get home.
Because I would probably just talk more and more, but...
Well, yeah. I just talk just for the simple fact that we're
Not being
kidless
interrupted.
right now. Yeah. Yeah, we're actually having a conversation right now. And one of our kids is not like, Mom! 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 Mom!
That's totally how it is.
Oh, my goodness.
We're trying to teach the whole, like, excuse me, and then for them to wait. But
Yeah, then they're
it
just
hasn't
like,
caught on
"Oh,
yet.
okay, excuse me.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah. Yep. But it's awesome.
It is.
All right, well, let's wrap it up here. Yeah,
This was good.
this was good. We're going to do this again.
Yep.
All right. See ya. Bye, guys.
Bye.